that, Heidi? What is fake and what is phony?
Well, there's a lot of real people.
Yeah, there is real people.
I mean, I know there's real people. There's real abilities out there, right?
Real people with real abilities.
How long are you going to do that voice?
As long as it takes.
Takes for what?
I don't know. I have to do a voice where the people say, I want him to do this voice and that voice, and I can't keep up with all the demands.
Well, just be you.
That's the problem I am.
Okay. But that is you, yeah. You are. You do. People don't know, but Scott does these voices all day long. Like, this isn't just for the podcast.
Yeah, I got issues too.
No. Well, anyway, so fake or phony. Okay, so not all, like I said, not all people have the ability, but we all have the capability.
Yes.
It's about who's sensitive enough to sense it, who's curious enough to investigate it, passionate enough to study the elements of it, and strong enough to practice it.
Feel the spirit speak to you, yes.
What was that?
What?
What was that?
Was what?
Dude, that's like TV show-ish.
Yeah, I know.
Whoa.
I know.
That was good.
Blow me away?
That's pretty good. Yeah. So I just want people to know, though, like, we're not promoting divination or spiritism or witchcraft, but we want people to understand
You can get your own divination for $9.99 a month here.
No, you don't want to do that.
No, you don't want to do that.
No. We want spiritual growth and truth in supernatural aspects. That's why we do this.
Deep cleansing voice inside.
I'm waiting for the rain music and the thunder in the background to come on. Okay, so here's some fake stuff. Hot and cold reading, okay? Cold reading is narrowing information down by general questions and answers. It's where you lead the client into reading their expressions and saying things to get their reaction or a word or two from them, and then they go off that, you know. Sort of like, you know that little game that we have played with our kids, the 20 questions?
Yeah.
Where you know what you're going to say, and then...
Well, that's how that game works. 'Cause, yeah, these are
Narrow it
people
down.
that are able to narrow it down.
Yeah, they're good.
I never thought about that.
Yeah.
That 20-question game, I understand how that works. There's always going to be, within 20 questions, you can probably narrow pretty... These people are just professionals.
Oh, they're good at it.
They're
Oh,
good
yeah.
at it. I feel there's somebody dead in your family. And who doesn't have somebody dead in their family?
I feel like something happened. Something with someone that you cared for.
Yes, someone you cared for.
It had a profound effect on your life.
It did.
And you're like, oh, yeah, that was... And then,
Could be a teacher, a parent, a godmother, or father. It could be lots of different people.
Okay, so we're going to play this game. Don't look at my notes.
Don't
okay?
look at the notes.
But listen to what I'm saying, and all our listeners can hear this too.
Right.
I'm going to show people how these psychics, these fake charlatans
This is going to be a real deal between you and me.
And everybody listening. Because
listening.
This is how good they are, because... How many people listen to this? And you. And I bet you I'm going to be accurate with some of this.
And honestly, I'm not going to... we do have some notes, and I'm not going to look at the notes. I'm going to take off my spectacles, which allow me to see the screen. So I for sure can't do this.
Here's your reading.
Right, here we go.
Okay, this is for you and 500,000 people out there. All right. You make friends easily, but you tend to have very few close friends. That's because you tend to bottle things up. You need to let things go. You tend to hold stuff in because you're afraid of getting too close to people. But you want to be, okay? So even recently, you feel betrayed by somebody. So, okay, I also see an older man associated with you. I'm getting like the letter J or the letter M. So he's either the person's part of your family or close to your family, or they're like family. And he suffers from some kind of pain, like in his back or his joints. Someone that you know.
Who doesn't?
Oh, this is the point. So listen. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so when you think of him, you like to always think of that one thing that he does that makes you laugh. Okay, so you're an emotional and passionate person, but lately you feel a little insecure about yourself. So you're becoming a little detached. Sometimes, a lot of times when you're sleeping even, you feel like you're zooming out and you're watching yourself from afar. You're not really sure where your life is going. And you've got a scar. It's not a huge scar.
I can't believe this. I didn't know these things.
I'm good. I know. There's more, though. There's more.
There's more, okay.
Yeah. Okay, so you've got a scar. It's not a huge scar,
Is it size? My
No.
heart is scarred.
It
No.
could be. It could be, but
Okay.
it's from an accident you had a while ago, somewhere where not a lot of people could see it. Okay.
You see my butt cheeks.
Well, that one I'll know where your scars are, but this is for all the other people out there. Okay. You have a recurring dream, like one where you're falling or you're almost flying. And this alternates with another dream of being chased or stalked. But if you can't remember both of those, sometimes maybe because you're not well aware of it. So, that's my reading. How well did I do for you, Scott?
Actually, horrible.
No, I knew,
No.
You know somebody with the letter J.
No, I don't.
Jerry.
Oh, yeah.
She's part of your family or close to someone in your family, or she's like family.
I don't consider her anymore, though.
Well, I know, but there's other people.
Why? Well, how would that apply to somebody else?
What do you mean?
Maybe there's other people don't have a J or an M.
Oh, somebody will find. The point is they'll find it. They will reach into, or if they don't know, then they're going to ask somebody in their family, is there anybody with a J? Oh, yeah, your second aunt on your grandma. That's how they do it, on grandma's side.
What's that voice?
That's the old lady voice.
Why do old ladies have to have voices like that? They don't all have voices like that.
Yeah, they do, because
they don't.
They've
Unless they're like 250, which
No.
you can't live that long.
No, they do have voices like that. A lot of people, because they've had so much fun in their life,
I don't know
their
about
voices
the
are wearing
secret scar
out.
either.
You have scars all over your body.
Yeah, but not in no place that nobody doesn't know.
There's a lot of places. You have scars in the back of your head, and people sit there and stare at the back of your head.
I do all the time.
Oh, other people. Oh, you're not. I can't do this for you. You're no fun. But I bet you everybody that's listening will have found like a lot of those pertain to them. That's because they're in general cold reading questions. And then what happens is when someone even responds or says something to one of those, then those cold readers will go into more. Like they'll go into
deeper.
Yeah. And then they read off, and like you said, you made the perfect point. No, maybe it's my heart. And you know what? It is a spiritual scar. That's what I'm seeing. And that's how they do. They work with it. So
Yeah, because a lot of people will start just shooting out things as they're speaking.
Right.
I did know. It's my heart. And yes, it could be. Yeah, exactly. And they just keep feeding on that because you just fed them information.
Yeah.
And so
that's how it works.
Yeah.
So we discourage anyone from seeing a psychic because you don't know where they're getting their information from. If they're real, if they really have spiritual abilities, they're not getting them from anything but, like bad stuff.
Yes.
So never go to a show, like a psychic show or whatever, or a shop.
Never, ever.
You know what they do at those? If you go to like these psychic shows or whatever, they send people that work for them amongst the crowd to listen in to what you're talking about, taking notes, little pictures. Now they got videos, cams, and stuff, so you can't even trust anybody anymore. But they'll listen to your convo, and then some will wander around, and they have handheld recorders in the area, and then they feed information back to the person who's doing the reading. And sometimes they recommend that you get to like the venue early, and you can fill out a card, your information, write a question, bring a photo with you, or they'll talk to someone in your family, and they'll say, "Oh, she's hoping to hear from so and so." So you got to be careful.
People know people actually named so and so.
Oh yeah, a lot of people are named so and so. Oh yeah.
Maybe if they're Japanese or something. Maybe so and so.
So you can't trust any of those people that do those
More
readings.
importantly, you can't. You're welcoming in any spirits that that they have with them.
Yeah.
Onto you. So if you're asking all these questions, there's always another spirit in the background going, "Yeah, get a bus ride."
Now, when I used to work as a professional psychic, but I used the abilities I had since I was a little girl. I thought I was doing the right thing. And I know I've told this story before, so I'm not going to get real deep into it. But I went to apply for this job, and it was for a very popular phone psychic network. And when I applied for it, they hired me on the spot. And when I was waiting, there was a lady with 2 of her kids in there. She's like, "Oh, do you have abilities, psychic abilities?" And I said, "Yeah." She goes, "Oh," I said, "You do too?" And she's like, "No, I don't. I just need extra cash." But they hired me, and they said it's real simple. So it's like, okay, so you don't know who you're getting.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I wasn't fake, but when I was little, I questioned what these abilities were and where they came from. And a lot of people who are born with these abilities do that. So at first, when no one had answers, I just stopped asking. And I dabbled into the occult because that was the only place I was getting the answers. Then as I got older, tons of those answers came from the internet and books and TV shows and stuff, and none of them were full truth. Maybe a little bit here, a little bit there, and I sort of just put together what worked for me. And then I never bothered asking any more questions because between all these things, everyone had the information for me. And I just started giving other people answers, like, based off what other people told me. So none of it was true. It wasn't even my personal experience. It was, there was one particular lady who was on Oprah, and her name was Rosemary Altea. And I went out and bought her book because as she was describing what she went through as a kid, I was like, oh my gosh, I never knew that there was anybody else in the world like me, who I, thought like me that had these abilities. And a lot of the stuff she said she went through. So then I went out and bought her book, and I absolutely loved her book. And I felt like I was like reading a book about myself. I started following her all these years on her work. Come to find out, now I don't know if she was real and then succumbed to the pressure of being right all the time or what happened. But she started doing the what's called the hot reading. And that's where you gain knowledge through the person about the reading. So you would ask them questions or whatever, or take notes and then use what they've told you in the actual reading. So I'm trying to get a hold of, my mom. So she'd be like, oh, I'm seeing a woman who's passed, and it's her mom. So she would do that. She would get information ahead of time. And so I don't know if she always did that. But, and so you got to be careful with who you follow and what you're reading and basing your abilities on.
Well, anyone can give you some answers.
Yeah. But the truth is what you need.
What you want. Yeah.
Because the truth will set you free. Okay, so I was always sensitive to the spirit realm, and I was an empath, and I worked on those abilities that I had. So when I was a psychic, I started in my late teens, and people paid me to read tarot cards. And then I started out reading palms, but then I went to tarot and runes. And then I ended up working for that hotline. And then I actually worked on an online site and did readings at bistros. I was making lots of money.
I remember, I think I remember you doing something.
When we were dating.
At the bistros or something like that.
Yeah, it was good money. But the thing was, I really enjoyed helping people. That was my main goal. And even, remember, I was offered for that psychic cruise. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and
there was somebody on there you didn't want to deal with or something.
Yeah, James Van Prague. He's really well known as a psychic, and a lot of people say he's fake. A lot of people believe he's real. I don't know, but so he was nuts. I just can't handle him because he's so phony. Even like to me, who believes in these abilities, he was so phony. I wouldn't work on that cruise. We turned it down because I'm like, they were going to pay for the entire cruise.
Yeah, we were together at that time. We were going out.
Yeah, and I'm like, no, we're not doing it. And it was like awesome.
I was all pumped up about it.
I would have loved to have gone, but not with him. No. So, I was told that I had a gift, but it didn't seem like a gift because all that bad stuff started to happen. All the dark stuff. And then I was told that it was more of an ability than a gift. Because I'm like, this isn't much of a gift. Who wants a gift where you see demons and dark stuff happens and when people are going to die? That's not a gift to me.
No,
and then they're like, no, it's not a gift. It's an ability. You got to work with it like a muscle and,
foresee the future, you must, yes.
Yeah, see, Yoda had it going on. He had to work for it.
Yes.
There were those dark encounters that came, and you just had to deal with the good. So I didn't want any of the skills. When what I was saying and doing wasn't accurate, that's when I was like, I don't want to do this no more. Because that's embarrassing, So I didn't like being wrong or misleading people because I wasn't always right. And...
Well, it depended on because some people you were extremely accurate. And then you would have individuals that it didn't work for you.
Right. It's really weird.
But overall, your accuracy was very high. But then there would always be a person here or there. It's like everything you said was wrong. It's like, what is going on? But that's what you were getting.
Right.
It's like, this is
but
what I'm
that's like you
getting.
said, that's how the adversary works.
Don't know why. Are you sure? And they're like, yeah, we think we're sure. It's like, it's what I'm getting. So,
and then you said, hey, the Bible talks about spiritual gifts. So, about this stuff. So, I was like, ooh, ding. I was curious. Hello. So, with psychics, when they're wrong, they're really wrong. But when they're right, it's only by small little things. Okay, so I'm going to name some well-known charlatans in the psychic world.